All right, family. Black Power. Black Power is the true power with General Sarah Susan said he kick back, get your mind ready for some information that's guaranteed to be heavy. I'm excited and delighted to be accepting members to not only the Sarah Susan Seti YouTube page, but the General Seti YouTube page, two dynamic powerhouse institutions on YouTube giving you nothing but black power, black divinity. I want you to subscribe immediately. I want you to become a member. The link for the membership right down in the video description is in the chat. All you had to do is just click it. You get a video introduction, rundown on the memberships, what they entail. You see one you like, you should most definitely join. Even if you don't, I appreciate your presence here at the Sarah Susan Seti General Seti YouTube page. Continue to engage, continue to advance. That's right, family. The General got a new website on Teachable, uploading a lot of dynamic curriculums, powerhouse programs, certificate courses. First one up, 25 steps to the redemption of definitive black manhood for the brothers, designed by the General himself. It's an amazing course. You can go over to the site, preview the curriculum. Also included the Brotherhood of Heru Roundtable live stream, where the brothers sit down once a week discussing very important, powerful information pertinent to their growth and development. It's nothing like it, family. Get over there, preview the curriculum, and become a brother, become a member today. That's right. Ring the alarm, KingSeti.com, online marketplace, official General Sarah Susan Seti, DVD lectures, t-shirts, tank tops, hoodies, African and Kemetic jewelry, holistic tonics and remedies, home decor, accessories for every room in the house. I got something for your family I know you're going to like and love. Get over there, check out the catalog, get a discount, shop and save and shop. Pull the fire alarm, generalseti.com, Seti University, over 2,500 videos, 40 different subjects, all the subjects that you know and love, from the General Olmec, Voyages of the Nile, when Kemet ruled the earth, Nubia, mother of ancient Egypt, Black Babylon, Mesopotamia, from Naga to Nigger, African origins of the Hindu Kush, Christianity, Judaism, Islam, Hinduism exposed, the black woman is God, making of the white man, military, geography, cosmology, and so much more. Not another website out there that could compare or compete. You should become a member today. And everybody knows Seti got the pop in his page on Patreon, by far over 500 exclusive live streams only to be viewed on Patreon. 5 levels for you. You can come in on any level, and there is a treasure chest that's waiting on you already. Stacks of videos that you never seen before. They're amazing. Get over there and get that work, because it's waiting on your family right now. The link is at the top of the chat. Click it and get a preview. That's right. To all the family out there donated to the General, thank you. Those who would like to donate, link is right there in the chat. Click it, donate. I appreciate you. And make sure you subscribe to all my YouTube channels, King Seti, General Seti, Sarah Susan Seti. Rock that notification bell. Get a video a thumbs up. Like it because you love it. Share it with your family and friends. And comment. Just don't say nothing stupid, because I will ban your ass. Here we go. Ramaphosa, the president of South Africa, met with Donald Trump in the Oval Office just a few days ago. And you know, truly a man with highly more class, you know, just a greater level of class than Donald Slump. You know, he ain't gonna stay in a slump. You know, his arrogance, his inability to distinguish truth from lies, made up lies. He not trying to distinguish between lies and truth, because he's making up the lie. You see, I've never seen somebody he's falling to an all-time low with me. You see, and I mean, I'm talking about as far as judging presidents. It's some dumbass presidents. You know, it's all of them dumb, but some are dumber than others. You know, and George Bush was damn near at the top of the goddamn list. You see what I'm saying? And so I think Donald Trump might have fallen below George Bush Jr. I think he didn't fail below George Bush Jr. because this is ridiculous that a person that would talk about fake news would actually bring some shit up in the White House And people then fact check the shit and come to find out, man, that shit that he had in his hand, man, you could get that shit off of, you can get that shit out the funny papers. You know what I'm saying? That ain't on the front page. You know, when you get a newspaper and you look for comics and shit, that's where he went and got them goddamn, them news reports that he had. And he went to the comics section and got that shit. And so now they done checked him and fact checked him. And I'm like, God damn, man. I mean, you keep talking about fake news. You fake news. You are fake news. Nobody's falling for the narrative. And so we're going to start out with an expose on him. Then we're going to go into the Oval Office and we're going to deal with it from that perspective. But the narrative that, that somehow, now listen to me. Listen to me, y'all, because I'm biased in the motherfucker. There's no genocide of white people going on in South Africa. But believe you me, even if it was, I'd understand. You feel do you feel my vibe? Do you feel my energy? You understand? You're not going to get one tear out of me at all. You see what I'm saying? And matter of fact, we might pop a bottle or two. You feel what I'm saying? So don't get it twisted. But the reality is, even if our people wanted to resort to whatever they needed to do to free their land, it is in their divine right to be able to do that. You see what I'm saying? It's in their divine right to be able to do that. And so I wouldn't give a goddamn if they took the arms. I wouldn't give a damn. But the reality is, let's deal with this, that there's not a genocide of white people going on in South Africa. Because if it was, it'd be over with by now. You see what I'm saying? There's no way that, it would, especially white people. You know what I'm saying? Do you think that somehow it could be a goddamn genocide of white people going on this goddamn planet? It wouldn't be broadcasted all across the goddamn world? What goddamn, niggas? You see what I'm saying? Black people doing something like that to a white population, and you mean to tell me you believe that it would not get news play all over the world? That's unbelievable. You see? And so, let's get to this report. So I'm just being clear that there is no genocide or no white people. You got so many white people in South Africa saying they comfortable. They ain't going no motherfucking where. They are they have an economic, which is sad for them to be able to say that. I'm not happy with that at all. I just want you to know. But they have come out and say they're very comfortable. You see, they're very comfortable in South Africa. No different than the United States. Okay, no different than the United States. And so they're just like, you take a random act like carjacking. Motherfuckers carjacking any and everybody. They don't give a fuck, you know what I'm saying? So they carjack white, they carjack black, they carjack, Asians, Arabs, Hispanic. They don't give a fuck. If a motherfucker catch you slipping at the light, your ass is done for. They don't give a fuck about who. If you got something they want and you slipping, they gonna get it. And so that's what they're saying in South Africa, that this is these type of crimes that are happening, it's across the board. It's happening to black, it's happening to white. So, for them to act like it's just happening to white. You see, these is, these are just, individual crimes that some random motherfucker say, well, you know what, I want to do this tonight. But they don't just, it's not like, again, that is just happening to white, it's also happening to black. So a genocide is the government is ordaining that blacks, white, there would have been, if that was the case, the fight would be over with by now. It'd have been over with if that was the case. If the government was saying, you know what, you have the right, that would have been over with a long time ago. You understand what I'm saying? It wouldn't have been a motherfucker in South Africa talking about they comfortable or none of that shit if that was really what was going on. So obviously, as many of them that, they're, again, they feeling all right down there in South Africa with the power and the privilege and the status that they have obtained through imperialism of our people, which must end nevertheless. Nevertheless, even if what we saying that is not happening at this time starts to happen, you see, it is what it is. You've been the warning shots have already been shot. So you know what I'm saying. You think you have forever and you don't. But let's check this first video out, family.
Of white genocide in South Africa.
These are all white farmers that are being buried.
They were actually pictures from the Democratic Republic of Congo.
Yeah, so wait a minute. Let's go back to this because he put up one of the
Ramaphosa off guard.
He put one of the goddamn pictures up, right? And he said that this is South Africa, and it was actually pictures that was taken in the Congo. So he didn't even know, he don't read that shit. They just put this shit in front of him. And he rambling on and shit, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. He just rambling on. He don't know what the fuck he talking about. He got a lot of people that just put information in, and he can't rationalize because he's just a liar. And he ain't even trying to rationalize it. He's a liar because and we're going to get into the fact that if you look behind me or you look on the thumbnail, that Ramaphosa has whites in his administration. Okay, I looked to make sure because I didn't, for a minute, I thought that they were a part of his cabinet, and they are in the administration. But when I looked at his cabinet, he had damn near 95% black cabinet, and there was a few whites in there too. So he is probably to the ratio of the population. So probably about 7% of his administration, you got white ministers and this, that. And so, okay, then we'll leave that there. But it's necessary to say that because this is what he responded to Donald Trump when he ran this shit down. You can see him in the back, right? Matter of fact, let me take that out of there so you can see it in the back. You see right there to up there in the right corner. You see something here, and then you got the Secretary of Agriculture he was sitting down. But you see right there, he got some ministers up there, and this is what Ramaphosa and they did not pan off during the fucking interview in the Oval Office, and they did that shit on purpose because he said, do you think they would be here with me if this was going on? You see what I'm saying? Do you think, and you got the Secretary of Agriculture sitting right here in front of you, and he's telling you that there's no genocide. Yes, there's some problems going on, but it's not a genocide. And so, damn, and see, he didn't, and in his ignorance, you know what I'm saying? In his ignorance, he's still, man, it's a sad state. It's a sad state. He's worse than Biden because Biden was really old. You know what I'm saying? He's really had dementia. You know what I'm saying? And that's really what it was. He really had dementia. He was forgetting shit and so on. So that, it is what it is. But this motherfucker right is a flat out liar. He's a deceiver. You see, he's a deceiver, flat out liar. Create some shit and got enough nerve to talk about fake news. And so you weak, no matter what. You know what I'm saying? It's one thing, as a politician. I know politicians is manipulative. They manipulative. Some are not. Some are less manipulative. They got other skills, but when you finagling amongst them, that politician arena, and world leaders and shit, I know it's deception and being manipulative is a part that that leadership role. You feel what I'm saying? In that world, that because even in the art of war, they say deception. The art of war, deception, is the foundation of warfare. To deceive a motherfucker, to think you small when you're actually large. You see, to make a motherfucker think you actually large to think you're large when you're actually small. So you deceive, you make a motherfucker perceive, and this is the strategy of warfare in this international political field. But to lie like this in front of the world that's intelligent to know that you lying, and you still try to push it, shows a certain level of weakness. I mean, this is unbelievable, man. You supposed to back up, but you got something going on, and there's something behind what him and Elon is trying to push. You see what I'm saying? Let's finish this.
In South Africa,
These are all white farmers that are being buried.
they were actually pictures from the Democratic Republic of Congo.
So if you look down at the bottom, the guy who did the report is going to talk about it. That the photo was not actually from South Africa. It was from the Democratic Republic of the Congo.
Let me explain. During an Oval Office meeting on May 21st, Trump caught South African President Cyril Ramaphosa off guard when he alleged that white farmers were being persecuted because of their race. Trump then presented alleged video evidence followed by a series of articles and images that he falsely claimed showed white farmers that are being buried in South Africa.
Look, here's burial sites all over the place. These are all white farmers that are being buried.
Following the meeting, Reuters revealed that one of the images Trump displayed was a screenshot from one of their videos that showed footage of humanitarian workers burying bodies in the city of Goma in the Democratic Republic of Congo. The footage was captured in February following deadly battles with Rwanda-backed M23 rebels, Reuters reports. The managing editor at the American Thinker, the conservative online magazine that published the blog post Trump showed to Ramaphosa, told Reuters that Trump had misidentified the image. Reuters video journalist Jafar Al-Katanti, who captured the images in question, was shocked to see Trump using their footage as false evidence of white genocide. In view of all the world, President Trump used my image, used what I filmed in the Democratic Republic of Congo to try to convince President Ramaphosa that in his country, white people are being killed by black people, the journalist said. During the meeting, Trump also showed video of white crosses along a South African highway that he incorrectly claimed were burial sites. When the crosses were placed in 2020, an organizer told South Africa's public broadcaster that the wooden crosses did not mark actual graves.
So, he put that shit out there where, when you saw these crosses that, people thinking that this was actually a grave site or that each cross, represented an individual, and it's just a memorial. Okay, it's just a memorial. And I'm going to show you another memorial where, farmers that have been killed going back to the 70s. And it's got white and black on it. You see? So it's also black farmers have been killed in these, these raids by criminals and shit. So it's not just white people. So, yeah, so he made it look at, make it seem as if each cross represented an individual. It's just a memorial. That's all it's a memorial.
But rather represented farmers who had been killed over the years. When the lights came back on in the Oval Office, Ramaphosa asked Trump if he knew where the footage was filmed, to which Trump responded, no.
Have they told you where that is, Mr. President? No, I'd like to know where that is, because this I've never seen.
I mean, how in the fuck you gonna charge a nation and a man and a leader? You and you got the world watching this, and you gonna present some goddamn information to accuse this man and his nation, South Africa, of genocide. You gonna present a video, and he asks you, "Do you know where this is?" And you answer, "No." This is fucking ridiculous. I mean, this man, literally a piece of shit. Real talk. That's, literally a piece of shit. To even, if you go, you charging motherfucker, you supposed to dot I's and cross T's. You know what I'm saying? You supposed to dot I's and at the least do the research to say, yeah, this is the town. You know what I'm saying? And the footage is right off the internet. You would think somebody, from the administration would have went to South Africa and did some research on their own, invite them over there, but they don't want to do that. That's too much like being right. You see what I'm saying? That's too much like being right. But so you getting your goddamn, he getting his motherfucking videos off of TikTok and YouTube. You got that shit off of TikTok and YouTube, man. Goddamn, man. This is sad.
It's in South Africa this week.
We need to find out.
During a White House press briefing on May 22nd, Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt blindly defended Trump's claim that his video showed burial sites when asked about the footage by NBC News reporter Yamiche El-Sindor.
Are you disputing that there's no...
The fact that the video showed what the president claimed it showed, because it did not show that. But even more, what I'm asking you is who at the White House...
No, it did show that. It showed white crosses representing people who have perished because of racial persecution.
Leavitt refused to answer El-Sindor's question about who verifies the images that the president presents as evidence in the Oval Office. Another organizer of the 2020 event has since confirmed to BBC that it's not a burial site, but it was a memorial.
That's crazy. You see, so yeah, they twist the truth and flat out lying, and they can't get. Now check this out. And keep in mind that they're not gonna pan off. I don't think that they panned off to show some of his some members of his white members of his administration. I'm not gonna say that they're cabinet members, because I only think it's actually one cabinet member that was there, and that was the Minister of Agriculture. The rest of his cabinet is black. So I just want to stress that 95%. And when I looked at his cabinet, it showed maybe like 30-some people, and it only looked like 2 whites was on the damn actual cabinet. You see what I'm saying? So, and I clearly heard Ramaphosa say that the land must be returned to the indigenous people. I heard him say it right, without compensation. You see, and so that's why a lot of motherfuckers in South Africa is busting a move. Because they know that eventually the time is going to be up. That land, and they not going to get a goddamn dollar. You see what I'm saying? Without compensation, that they're not giving you your own stolen land, time is up. You see what I'm saying? So that's just what it is. You feel what I'm saying? And so if you see anybody fleeing, they in a predicament where they know that their time is coming soon. So they trying to run this bullshit down. That somebody, you ain't got no motherfucker, you ain't even got a farm. These ain't even farmers. They lying like a motherfucker. They ain't even farmers. Some of these motherfuckers, like I said, own IT companies and shit like that. They done busted the motherfucker on the internet talking all type of racist shit. Let's look at this.
I don't think anyone wants to candy coat that. And it requires a lot of effort to get on top of it. It's going to require more policing resources. It's going to
let me start to the beginning.
We have a rural safety problem in South Africa, and I don't think anyone wants to candy coat that.
Now this is the
requires a lot of
agriculture.
It's going to require more policing resources. It's going to require a different strategy to be able to deal with it. As the Minister of Agriculture, it is something that I'm particularly exercised with my colleagues at police and my colleagues in the justice cluster to start making farm attacks and stock theft a priority crime. I also want to just say this, that the 2 individuals that are in that video that you've seen are both leaders of opposition minority parties in South Africa. Mkhonto Wesizwe under Mr. Zuma and the economic freedom fighters under Mr. Malema. Now the reason that my party, the Democratic Alliance, which has been an opposition party for over 30 years, chose to join hands with Mr. Ramaphosa's party was precisely to keep those people out of power. We cannot have those people sitting in the union buildings making decisions.
Right there. So, like I say, I understand the situation. We know where this shit is going. So we're not, but the fact they trying to run this move on South Africa on a lie, we just have to expose the lie. Okay? Because they can seize the land really without having to you know what I'm saying, to commit genocide on. Even though we, like I say, you know what this shit is, whatever which way, you feel what I'm saying? But we're not gonna let them run no psyop on us to make us believe there's something going, so y'all can run some type of play on South Africa, you know, get them in the UN and run sanctions on them, try to cripple them for Elon and all this shit, put all, you know, type of sanctions on South Africa to make it worse for the people than what, you know, based on the lie. And so the minister, he's the minister of agriculture, said that, you know, and I know Malema he be on his, you know, he be on one. You feel what I'm saying? He one settler, one bullet. You know, that's what Malema is on. So what he's saying is that Malema is in a minority. He's a minority party. Yes, he's a part of the government and got a right to be. You understand? There's a segment of the population that's still about that. You know, Mandela has come and gone, and still, even to 2025. I mean, we talking about goddamn. They let Mandela out in the goddamn. When they let Mandela out in the 80s, goddamn, you talking about here? We talking this shit 30 years later, 40 years later, and still they ain't no further to really getting all the land back. I mean, what's taking so long? You see what I'm saying? And so yeah, they got the right to still, you know, be about, you know, the initial energy, because things still have not changed. You see, they slow walking this shit, you know what I'm saying? And the reality is, you know, the land is one thing, but the economy is still another. You know what I'm saying? You could get a land back, but you still got the economy. You got you got a vast majority of the largest companies and richest people in South Africa is still white. So what about that disparity? You see what I'm saying? You got to even that disparity out, because just giving the land is not enough. They done got filthy off the resources. You understand what I'm saying? They done got filthy off the resources. So you got to even that playing field. So it's not just the land, just like what's going on in Burkina Faso. You got to, you know, you have to, no outsiders, you know, no settlers can own mines and resources and continue to exploit the mineral wealth out of Africa and South Africa, where the peoples is living in poverty, you know, and you got a 31%, 32% unemployment rate, where they suffocating the indigenous people of South Africa, where they can't get no jobs and shit. So even there, so I understand what Malema, so what he's saying is that Malema is in the minority party, and that he joined hands with Ramaphosa's party so that they could keep Malema out. Now I'm just stating it. So what it is so if there was any type of genocide, why would they even work with him? You know, and so he was like I said, when Ramaphosa was explaining, why would they even come here with me? And if it was a white genocide, do you think these men would actually, as racist as they is? You know what I'm saying? Well, what the fuck would some Boers and some white South Africans come and stand with Ramaphosa? You know what I'm saying? And say it ain't no what kind of agenda is that? So that don't even make sense. So that fact alone is really like, man, you stupid. You know what I mean? You're a stupid motherfucker, man. Just say what it is, man. You a stupid motherfucker, man. To think that you got bomb rush, you got body slammed in that, man. You really took a heavy toll. You know, and then you took one with Zelensky. You took a toll because now you come out a week later after he done told you, how can you guarantee me? What are you going to guarantee me, that this man is not going to attack me no more? And then a week later, he was talking about Putin trying to play him, Donald Trump. So motherfucker, so really what he was saying was legitimate, and y'all sitting in there trying to run this shit down on Zelensky like he don't know what the fuck he talking about. Now, it don't mean I ain't got shit in the process, but I'm just showing you how they just trying to run game on motherfuckers and they ain't buying it. Like, man, what the fuck is you talking about? You on some dumb shit. You know what I'm saying? This man don't give a fuck about you. He don't, man, Vladimir Putin look at Donald Trump like he's a pawn, man. You know what I'm saying? He haven't addressed nothing that Donald Trump did. They've been bombing that motherfucker every day since Donald Trump been in office, and ain't shit changed. He don't give a fuck about nothing that Donald Trump is talking about. Because the reality is Donald Trump want to think he can get them rare earth minerals out of there and shit. And Vladimir Putin like, well, man, this is my land. You think y'all motherfuckers think y'all gonna come over here in my backyard and get minerals? You know what I'm saying? You think y'all gonna come, and Ukraine was a part of the Soviet Union, and Ukraine is actually the mother country of Russians. That's where they started. It did, that was when Kyiv, the capital that they bombing, was the original capital before Moscow. Before Moscow, it was Kyiv. Before Moscow was even a damn city, I believe. Kyiv was the capital of the Russian people. You see, and then later on, I think it was, Moscow came up. I think the other St. Petersburg and all them came later. Kyiv was, so they look at that like it's still our shit, That's our shit. You're not gonna come over here digging in the soil and shit thinking y'all gonna benefit, and that's really what it's boiling down to. But for him to even be up in there
after 30 years of us exchanging barbs across the floor in Parliament and trying to get one over on each other, we've decided to join hands precisely to keep that lot out of government, because the day they get in to the doors of the union buildings in South Africa or control of our parliament, that's what you're going to see.
Elon over there shaking his head with his sad ass. Elon is sad. He's another sad ass Neanderthal. You know what I'm saying over there? Because what is you doing in the office? You shaking your head in agreement with what the man is doing. What the fuck is you talking about? You know what I'm saying? You shouldn't be in no goddamn agreement. I'm going to push this last one right here, family.
American farmer wants to set the record straight. He wrote an open letter to U.S. President Donald Trump after Trump offered Afrikaner farmers refugee status.
But it's a genocide that's taking place that you people don't want to write about. But it's a terrible thing that's taking place. And farmers are being killed. They happen to be white.
The first group of 59 Afrikaners traveled to the U.S. in early May. It has raised questions about why a group of white South Africans of Dutch and French descent are being granted refugee status when the Trump administration has stopped all other refugee programs. De Jager represents a large farmer organization which has members across South Africa. He says while it's true that farm murders are a major problem, Trump hasn't got the facts straight.
I wrote the letter to Trump because I feared that he might have a misunderstanding.
Now, this is one of their farmer, one of their farmer groups. You see what I'm saying? And I guess this guy right here is a South African farmer, but he's one of the representatives of this large farmer group. I'm not going to say it's a union, but it's some type of federation where a lot of the farmers engage in probably strategies and on how to make money and how to share wealth and, come together as a group maybe to, for international trade. And yeah, so here it is, a white farmer in South Africa. Listen what he got to say.
Of what is going on here. We thanked him for having sympathy with our cause, but we also said, rather help us to make things better here. Help us to, within our lifetime, fix the problems we have here. And it's not only a race thing. Black farmers have similar problems too. And
you see right there, he say black farmers have similar problems too.
We need those problems also to be attended to.
Trump's genocide claims are a result of brutal attacks on farmers in South Africa. Most of the murders happened during armed robberies. There's a large memorial at Nampo, South Africa's largest farming expo, dedicated to farm murders. It contains around 2,800 names, going as far back as the 1970s. One thing that stands out about this event is the diversity. We've seen many Afrikaners, but we've also seen many black people in attendance. This memorial includes the names of black farmers who were victims of farm murders.
You see, so now they got this memorial in South Africa dealing with farmers that, have been murdered, and it go back to the 70s. And on this memorial is black farmers too, and not just white farmers. So that's another lie that he told.
Debunking the idea that it's a crime that only affects white people. And those we spoke to say while they are concerned about farm murders, they don't want to leave South Africa.
Listen to what they say.
If people want to do it, I think it's a good idea. It gives them an option out if they want. But I personally would not do it. This is my country.
It's not your country, but you see how she says? She says she ain't going nowhere. She's comfortable. Do it look like a motherfucker? Ask them motherfuckers in Ukraine if they comfortable with them bombs falling on their head every motherfucking day. You see what I'm saying? If motherfucker, you didn't think you was going to wake up tomorrow, you would not be comfortable. You see? So ain't no goddamn genocide going on. It's some crime going on, but ain't no genocide. No state-oriented genocide where it's telling motherfuckers you got some, you got individual criminal, just like motherfuckers being in over here, breaking and entering, robbing and killing and shit. And if they're anybody that they could get over on, it don't matter your race, color, creed, they'll get your ass. And so that's what's happening in South Africa.
And that is something that Mandela fought for, is for freedom for all.
I cannot really say there's a genocide in South Africa. The only thing that is happening is it's a crime in general. In every country, in every places, we do have crimes, irrespective of race.
You hear that? It's a crime irrespective of race, boy. And they speaking. There's no reason they would have to lie. Majority of people are saying the same thing. That's what the majority of people are saying. Yeah, Donald Trump and his administration is turds. Piece of shit that think that the more they dig a hole, the deeper they're going to be in it. Period. Just like they in that Ukraine shit. Deeper in it. Just like they in that Gaza shit. Deeper in it. And they ain't doing nothing. They ain't got no power. Ain't nothing changed. No more so than when they came in. It's the same. Matter of fact, it done got worse.
So I think the genocide issue, it's exaggeration.
That's it, family. We didn't touched on this. Very, and it's a shame that, we have to expose this fake president the way we doing, but he ain't gonna make it, man. As far as, they're gonna impeach his ass. They're gonna have to. They're gonna have to impeach him because he worse than Biden. Biden is bad. Biden can't even remember his motherfucking middle name. You see what I'm saying? He can't even remember, and that was bad. You see, for real. But at least they was talking for him and telling him, they was maintaining, you know what I'm saying? The government. But this man right here, man, they got to impeach him straight up. They got to get him on up out of there quickly. As they got him in there, they got to get his ass up out of there. That's real. All right, family, I appreciate y'all. I want y'all to hit that subscribe button. I want you to hit the like button. That's right, hit the like button. Share it with your family and friends. Get it over there to Patreon. Hit that link right there, top of the chat. And we got a hell of a menu tonight. It's Saturday, family. It's Saturn's Day. You see the great one set. You see, and so I want y'all to come on, black and man, get into this blackness, this frequency, and let's get this work. This is General Sarasu Seti saying, hey, arm yourself with knowledge. Bang on that wicked ass beast daily liberation through African education and confrontation. Black power.